Today I want to talk about bandit beaters and why they do so well. I seen a YouTuber named SwiftDFG talk about this, and I started thinking, why do we? Why do we continue to promote and support bandit beating games, but then continue to complain about them? Is it the lack of adventure in the game that causes us to complain, or is it the fake hype that the game gets and raises our expectations so high we blind ourselves to the obvious bandit beating and think by some miracle the game will be completely different and entertain us until the next bandit beating game comes through to rinse and repeat the same thing over and over? That's why I personally started being more cautious to like what games I start to hype up, because the last thing I want is people to come to my videos who look forward to like a game and then be disappointed when it turns out to be something that it wasn't built out to be. Sometimes the game is just visually, like really visually appealing, and we allow that to blind us to the lack of content from the game. And an example of that is GPO and most One Piece games in general, I'm not gonna lie. And that leads us to never having a true One Piece game where it's supposed to be an open world adventure game, having the experience of like a true pirate through the sea and land, except no one's ever been able to do that. And instead, we're sitting here farming 4,000 levels with little to no adventure. And really what we need is a One Piece adventure game where the first thing we're introduced to is an adventure and not having to farm 100 levels before we can even do anything. If we look off at other official One Piece games, there's a large source of adventure and storyline, and levels aren't even like their main focus or sometimes even a thing in the game. And I feel like that should be implemented into the Roblox One Piece games, not having levels be the most important thing. I understand levels are sometimes a requirement in games to balance things and all that, but we still need to have an actual exploration and play the game and not have to worry about levels, because eventually it's going to blind us to the game and just we're only going to be focusing on those levels. And I'm talking from experience, you know what I mean? Sometimes we love the bandit beaters, or we're literally hypnotized because it's all we have been offered. So when we're offered a game that does things differently and actually wants to try, we don't believe them. It's hard to believe them. We have to make sure we don't rely on them too much, so we don't trust in them too much, because it's a lot of people who just lie. A lot of people who just go for it for the money and not for the general experience of, you know, making things better or whatever. But you know, what is a bandit beater? What can we call games like Arcane Odyssey and Deep Woken bandit beaters? Obviously not, because we could tell the difference there, you know what I mean? The game isn't only focused on implementing levels. There's storylines, lore, adventures, bosses, open world. You're free to adventure, and there's actual positive to adventuring, and they want you to adventure, and they're focused on mastering those things and making it better and pushing you to do more than to go island to island, NPC to NPC, which makes you explore, discover, and advance in more than one thing, unlike bandit beater games, which are only focused on reaching like level 4,000. One of the small causes I think to this is content creators overhyping a game. You know, being excited for a game is absolutely fine, but sometimes content creators cross the line, makes people expect more than there even like really was to offer, and it does more damage to the game than good. But generally there will never be an end to this, because speaking on games and excitement, and you know, you can't really control your excitement sometimes. It's a normal thing. You can't really strip a human out of excitement, but people themselves should be able to use simple context clues like and be able to tell if the game is good or bad. I understand some are just like little kids, you know, they trust whatever they say, but you should be looking at their work from the past. What have they offered in the past to make you support their game? And don't blame you being gullible on another person, but be able to look at the devs' previous work, judge them based on, you know, what they have been able to offer. Are they positive devs? Are they hardworking devs? And a positive dev team, as an example, is the Real Brothers, of course. And seeing that they were able to keep Shindo Life alive after years and have over 400k players off release. Back then, that was huge. That was like millions as of right now, because Roblox wasn't as big, and it was able to outnumber other games to this day. Some games that you really regularly play, they're able to outnumber that game, with it being a game probably as old as some of the players who are playing right now. And it's very impressive and shows that they have some sort of care and hard work towards what they're doing in their community. But in the end, it's something that we were offered very regularly, something that we were pushed to accept throughout the years, to the point where it'll never be able to go away. And it's something easy for little kids to play, because they only focus on the levels and they don't really understand what a good game is, you know what I mean? But it's like a drug that we were given and we're forced to accept it. It'll never go away because it's a part of Roblox at this point, but it can definitely be improved. And that's what I personally hope the Rowe brothers can do. Again, I'm not gonna have too much hope on them because that's very unhealthy and it's very stressful, not gonna lie. I can point that out. If I was a developer and I was being relied on like that, it would kind of stress me out. But regardless what the Rowe brothers do, with their hard work as of right now, the game will be something big, and that's a definite. And I personally am very excited for this game. So I hope other developers, and me counting myself, if I ever make a game, can push something that actually will have change to Roblox, you know what I mean? But yeah, if you do want to be informed on any Railseeds updates and stuff like that, One Piece games, I will start doing that. I have been following Railseeds on everything that I know of, their Twitter, their Discord, all the Twitter, you know, everything. But yeah, hit that subscribe button. Take care, stay blessed. I'll see you on the next one.